Hello everyone, this is Pagadaling Jigalang and welcome to our channel. Today's video, we will going to discuss about linear inequalities in one variables. But let us first do our pre-activity. Are you ready? Okay, let's start. This activity named Pair Me, which means you will going to pair each linear equation to column B. Each number, I will give you 5 seconds to answer, and when the time is up, I will give the answer. Okay? Let's start. Number 1. X is greater than 4. Time is up. The answer is letter D, not part of the solution. Number 2. X is less than or equal to 8. Time is up. The answer is letter C, P or part of the solution. Number 3. X is greater than or equal to 2. Time is up. The answer is letter A, shaded circle. Number 4. X is less than 3. Time is up. The answer is letter B, not shaded circle. So are you confused what those answers means? That will be discussed in our lesson for today. So this is our objectives. Take the challenge. In these lessons, challenge yourself to attain the learning outcomes. First is to solve linear inequalities using the different properties of inequalities, and second is demonstrate the solution as inequality, graph, and interval notation. For our discussion, we will solve each equation. Example number 1. X minus 4 is less than negative 6. So in solving this, we will going to add 4 each sides to cancel out the negative 4 so that X will be remain. This property is called addition property of inequalities. So X minus 4 plus 4 is 0. So that will be remain X is less than negative 6 plus 4, negative 2. So, X is less than negative 6 plus 4 is equals to negative 2. The inequality is X is less than negative 2. The next one is we will graph the inequality X is less than negative 2. So, we have our number line and we will locate negative 2. That is not shaded circle. This means that if the inequality is less than or greater than, the boundary point or end point is not included or not part of the solution. And the arrow must be going to the left because it is less than negative 2, which means X are those numbers less than negative 2, which is negative 4, negative 5, and so on. So the next steps in solving the equation, we write the interval notation of the inequality X is less than negative 2. So with interval notation, we write the leftmost number of the set, which is left numbers of 2, negative 2. Is negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, and so on. So that means it is negative infinity. And followed by a comma. And then the rightmost number of the set, which is negative 2. Then, we put parentheses or square brackets around the pair depending on whether those two numbers are included in the set. So sometimes we use one parenthesis and one bracket. A parenthesis means the number is not included in the set, but every number higher than it is included in the set. And square bracket means that the number is included in the set. So that means our inequality is parentheses because as you observe, it is not shaded circle. That means that negative 2 is not included in the set. So example number 2. Same process with example number 1. We have our solution, our number line, and then the interval notation. So first, let's have our solution. So x plus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 10. So x plus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 10. We will transpose or transfer positive 5 to the right side, then change the sign so that x will be remaining in the left side. This property is called transitive property of inequalities. So x is greater than or equal to negative 10 minus 5 is x is greater than or equal to negative 15 because negative 10 minus 5 is negative 15. So our inequality is x is greater than or equal to negative 15. So next is our graph. We have our number line first. Locate negative 15 which is shaded circle. So shaded circle siya. Because greater than or equal to or less than or equal to means that the boundary point or end point is included or part of the solution. And the arrow must be going to the right side, the higher number of negative 15. And if the number line says negative 15 is included, the interval notation must be written in this form. So, bracket siya. Negative 15 and negative infinity, parentheses. So, ganyan siya. So, now, let's proceed to example number 3. 2 times 4 plus x is less than or equal to 10. So, 2 times 4 plus x is less than or equal to 10. We distribute negative 2 to the equation 4 plus x to make the equation simpler and ready to solve. This property is called distributive property of inequalities. So, 8 plus 2x is less than or equal to 10 because 2 times 4 is equals to 8. Then 2 times x is 2x. Now, we have 8 plus 2x is less than or equal to 10. Then, proceed to transitive property. So, transpose 8 to the right side, then 2x is less than or equal to 10 minus 8 is 2x is less than or equal to 2. Then divide each side into 2 so that 2 will be cancelled and x will be remained. It is called multiplication property of inequality. So we have x is less than 2 over 2, which is also equivalent to 1. So now our inequality is x is less than or equal to 1. Now we have our number line or our graph. Locate first 1, then we notice that our inequality is less than or equal to, which means it is a shaded circle. And the arrow must be going to the left because x must be less than or equal to 1. And then our interval notation must be written in this form. So, we have our parentheses, negative infinity, and then 1, which is included. Now, we have to use the bracket because 1 is included. Let's proceed to example number 4. So, we have our given negative 3 times x plus 1 is greater than 6. So, first, proceed to distributive property, which is negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And then negative 3 times 1 is negative 3 is greater than 6. Then, proceed to transitive property, or you can also use addition property. So, negative 3x is greater than 6 plus 3 is negative 3x is greater than 9. Then multiply both sides using multiplication property. That could be x is less than negative 3, because when it is divided by negative numbers, the inequality will be changed. That's why it is x is less than negative 3. So our inequality is as x is less than negative 3. Then we will now graph our inequality. First, locate negative 3, then notice that it is less than. Therefore, it is not shaded or not part of the solution. And the arrow must be going to the left of negative 3. Or the x must be lesser than negative 3, which is negative infinity. So, our interval notation must be written in this form. So, we have our parentheses, negative, infinity, and negative 3. And then parentheses because, again, negative 3 is not included. So, we have now our last example, which is example number 5. So, we have our given 2x over 3 plus 3 is greater than or equals to 6x over 4 minus 2. So, first, our solution, we have to find the LCD. And then, multiply both sides. So, our LCD is 60. So, and then multiply both sides. So, we now have 60 times 2x. So, in multiplying this, we have to multiply 60, the LCD, to all numerators. So, 60 times 2x over 3 plus 60 times 3 is greater than or equal to 6x times 60 over 4 minus 2 times 60. Then, we have now 60 divided by 3 is 20. So, we have 20 times 2x plus 60 times 3 is 180. Is greater than or equal to 6x. Then, 60 divided by 4 is 15. So, we have 6x times 15. Minus 2 times 60 is 120. So, minus 120. Then, we have our 40x because 20 times 2x is 40x. Plus 180 is greater than or equal to 6x times 15 is 90x. Minus 120. Then, we group them according to their variables. So, we have to transpose 90x and then 180. So, that could be 40x minus 90x. We group them according to their variables. It's greater than or equal to negative 20 minus 180. Minus 180 because we have to change the sign. So, we have now 140 minus 90x is negative 50x is greater than or equal to negative 300 because negative 20 minus 180 is negative 300. Now, we have to divide both sides into negative 50. And remember that if we divide it into negative numbers, the inequality also change. So, our inequality now is our inequality now is x is less than or equal to 6 because negative 50x over negative 50 is x, and then greater than or equal to negative 30 over negative 50 is 6, and then change our inequality is less than or equal to. Then we will now have our graph. So our inequality is x is less than or equal to 6. So first locate 6 and then notice that it is less than or equal to. So it means the circles must be shaded and it is part of the solution. And the arrow must be going to the left because the inequality says that x must be lesser than 6. And that numbers are negative infinity. So our interval notation now is parenthesis negative infinity and 6, which is bracket, because 6 is part of the solution or 6 is included in the solution. So that's our last example. I hope you've learned a lot from me, guys. So now, I will give this exercise and just feel free to answer. Thank you for watching, and please do subscribe our channel for more lectures. Bye!